Good morning. This is Elizabeth Griffin, your independent author from South Philadelphia, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please take a moment and do so now, and definitely hit the thumbs up button if you appreciate this video, and all comments are definitely appreciated. You can also share my videos with family, friends, and aspiring writers. So today I wanted to talk about the fact that this is Lab Week. So from April the 19th up until April the 25th is Lab Week. And what happens is we celebrate those people that work in the laboratory for a week, and we have different activities and fun events like luncheons and fun activities, quizzing people's knowledge about things that go on in the lab. So I wanted to acknowledge this and just to give you a little glimpse into my other life besides writing. So during Lab Week, we, as I said, we celebrate the fact that the lab is functioning and it's integral to the hospital, our existing. And I just want to give you an idea of what I do in the laboratory. So I work in Central Lab, and what I do is I receive specimens. So I can receive blood work in test tubes. I can receive stool in sterile containers. I can receive fluids. It could be body fluids such as CSF, cerebral spinal fluid, or it could be peritoneal fluid, or it could be abdominal fluid. And depending on what type of testing they want, it will determine what I'll do with the sample. Sometimes they may want a cell count from a fluid in which they're counting the amount of cells that are in the fluid and whether there are red blood cells in the fluid or white blood cells. They could also be checking glucose levels, like how much sugar is in a fluid. They could be checking for protein, things like that. With the urine, we do urinalysis. We could also do urine cultures. And we in Central don't actually run the test. We prep everything. So, for example, if we got a urine culture sensitivity, which would go to micro, we would clock the sample in and then give it to them. And they, in turn, would set up the sample and culture it and see if anything grows. We also will take blood work and centrifuge it down, which means we have a huge centrifuge which will put the test tubes in it. It's a device machine. We'll put the test tubes in it, and we will set it for a certain speed and a certain time, and then we will allow the machine to spin the blood down. And then what we'll do, depending on what type of container the blood was collected in, we will get either serum, which is in a plain red top tube, or a serum separator tube, or we will get plasma. And that would be in a purple top tube, such as EDTA, or if we have a light blue top, it would be sodium citrate. So those are some of the tubes that we have. We test for all kinds of things. Some things we test in-house, such as, like I said, the glucose. We can also test for creatinine. We can test for lights, which is a sodium, potassium, chloride, and CO2. We test for lights on urine and stool, and those are usually done in chemistry. Some of our tests, our specialties, are sent out to different labs. We have reference labs that we use, such as ARUP, which is our reference lab in Salt Lake City. We also we also use genetic labs, which is situated at University of Penn. They have a genomics lab there. We deal with Children's Hospital. Sometimes we have to send genetic testing on babies if they're born and they have conditions, or they're not sure exactly what's going on with the baby's health. They'll do genetic testing, and we will prepare those samples and send them out to Children's Hospital. We could also send them out if it's like a POC, products of conception. We can send that out to another lab, which is at HUP. So I hope I'm not talking too fast and giving you too much information, but Central Lab does a lot. As I said, we prepare specimens to be used in other labs or to be tested in other labs. We also do something, PKUs, which they collect on every baby, and that's just to test to make sure that the baby's okay. So they'll collect the PKU, and then we'll send it out to the state, and the state will do like thyroid testing and different testing on this PKU filter paper. Also, we've tested breast milk for drug levels. We've tested heavy metals. We've tested hair follicles. We've tested so many different things. I love my job, and I've been doing it for a long time. And I thought it'd be interesting for you to just get a glimpse of what I do. We also have to wear protective gear protective equipment. We wear laboratory coats. We sometimes wear shields. We have to wear gloves. And now, because of what's going on with the COVID-19, we have to wear masks throughout the hospital. So whether we're in the laboratory or whether we're walking about the facility, we all need to wear masks. And each morning we get tested to see if we have a temperature, and we're asked a series of questions, whether we've been exposed to COVID-19, whether we've left the country, whether we've traveled to other states. It's a series of questions that they ask us every day, and according to our answer will determine whether we're going to work that day. So that's just a little bit in that area. Let me see, is there anything else that I find? Oh, we also report. We result a lot of test work. So since we're sending out tests to reference labs, like I said, ARUP, or we use medical services, or we use Atlantic Diagnostics, or we use Quest or LabCorp. Those are some of the laboratories that we deal with. And when we send out blood work to them, or urine to them, or other samples, we get reports back. And those reports have to be inputted into our computer system. And so we have several systems. We deal with Cerner, Millennium, and we also put things in MedView. And we're responsible for resulting those out and making sure the results are accurate and consistent with the labeling. That means like the name on the requisitions on the resulting report has to match what's in the computer. So we do things like that. So I hope you enjoy this little glimpse into my life, and definitely follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll be going back to talking about writing, which is my love, my passion. But in the meantime, there'll be times when I'll talk about maybe the lab or different things that I've dealt with. Like we've had to release bodies from the morgue in the past. We've had to, unfortunately, release babies that have died during delivery. So these are just some of the things that we do. So again, thank you for joining me, and thank you for supporting me in my endeavor to become a writer, a successful writer, a rich writer. So just thank you so much. As always, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I might be repeating myself, but I'm happy. And enjoy your day. As always, love, peace, happiness. Bye-bye.